The last one I didn't write it down, but the water into wine story was a story about how Jesus and 12 disciples. No, Jesus
Turn
turned the
water
water
into
into
wine.
wine. But so
Yeah.
the Jesus in the story.
The Jesus in this context is the 24 Hindus.
Okay, all right.
Right? That's it. Jesus is an entity.
Right.
So in this context, the 24 Hindus are Jesus.
Right.
Yeah.
In part two, you mentioned that the Holy Spirit. So where the brothers look for seven well attested, well Acts
Yeah.
6:3. I don't know how you say that.
Mm.
Look for seven well attested men
Yeah,
from
yeah.
among you.
Yeah, these are,
The seven refers to what? Because it reminds me of a story.
yeah, they have 7 right through, and they have 7 right through. And 7 is meaning that they are appointing 7 entities here. If you observe, you will see they have double here. They refer to them as 7 entities. And these 7 entities is what they appoint, the Holy Spirit appoint. So when they say you have the Spirit in you, meaning you have whatever part, each one has a part here, this is 18. 18 members here. And this is 10 and this is 44. This is how they go. Okay. So they are traveling with that. So they are traveling because these people they are no more, You understand? Because they can't even live for 100 years. So this is at 12,000 years travel.
Because I was watching the chart and I was trying to figure out what the seven is. Because
Yeah.
well, I've not seen anything with seven boxes.
Yeah.
Now, so.
These are the entities,
Right.
split up into 7 parts
Right.
to go into the lands, which we call the Lake of Fire, the Arabian lands, to construct these buildings and things. These buildings are still there.
Because the story it remind me of the one time that I know seven mentioned in Hindu scripture. It I sure it have more.
Right,
Is
yeah,
when
yeah.
the story with Lord Vishnu when he incarnate as the fish, and it's basically the Noah and the Ark from the Bible. But in in the Hindu version, the king took 7 Manus, the first men, and saved them and brought them to the world to teach.
But this is the same thing here. Now you have to understand when they talk about it turn into a fish. Now turning into a fish goes into the spiritual world.
Right.
That appointing somebody named fish, you have to look out for that too. There's a difference. And because when you live, when you enter here, you enter into the spiritual world.
Right.
And then you must have a certain amount of birth and death. That is this now. When you enter here, you are entering into the Vedi.
Yeah.
This is the spiritual world. This is the lie now.
Right.
Yeah. So you are writing this. You are this is the book written here now, and this book now has all these characters. Remember remember this is story. This is what you construct with about the literal history there.
So the 7 characters were
Yeah, before that.
Before the book.
Yeah, they were appointed. So they are coming. They are in the book now,
Okay.
And because each one have the spirit because it's split up here now,
Right.
Yeah, you understand? So they are coming with this spirit, and this spirit joins just before 14,000 years. And then you have the division. When you have the division here, you have it's Laxman with the 18 forms and Lot in the Bible. Now you have to understand what it means now. You see, I still hear they talking about the spirit leaving the body, like somebody don't have no knowledge what they're talking about, and making people feel that you have the spirit hidden in your body. No, this is the spirit here. Now this spirit here, I explained that other part, but let me just make up. This is called the Purushottama. What it means is this is the imperishable. This is referred to imperishable. This would not die. And what are they referring to as the imperishable is here what you call the 12 heavens and the 6 manuscripts. This is the 18 forms. The 12 heavens are the 12 buildings. They're referring to that as imperishable,
Right.
And the 6 manuscripts is the 4 Vedas that the popular names are the 4 Vedas. And you have the Puranas.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have Sita, which is being constructed. The Sita, that is the manuscript, Sita is the manuscript.
Right.
So these 6 manuscripts plus the 12 heavens is called the imperishable. That is, they cannot die. That is how they present that. Okay?
Okay.
So this is what, and the Purushottama is And then you had a man, which is 666. It need a little reading to understand that instead of going through that.
So this line, this number 7, and like I said, the story in the Vishnu Puran with
Same thing, you know.
these 7 entities.
Yeah. This if you take but this is this is the come like the Ramayana also, because you have the gods here, you know.
Yeah.
These are the same gods, and these are the same gods and the same entities that they transfer to. You
Okay.
have if you understand what I'm saying. So these are the 7 made up into 7 entities. Now how they try to they make that 7 entities, I don't know. From the 4 yugas, you have Satya Yuga. Now Satya Yuga is 4. Treta Yuga is 3. So you get the 4 and 3 from that.
Okay.
You understand? So that is how they refer, because you are in Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga here, you know. You understand? So you get any 7 entities from that, because what is it they refer to the Satya Yuga? 4 members in Satya Yuga and 3 members in Treta Yuga. I presented that before. Okay.
And the one where Jesus went to the temple and it was a marketplace and he get vexed and he threw over tables and stuff like that. It referred to any particular event along the timeline in history, or what?
That refers to that refers to this timeline here, 11,900 to 12,000 years. So that's the 100 years, because he's traveling from one building to the other building, you know, to perform the sportive acts and to teach his cannibals and them, you know.
Yeah. Because it reminded me of the last time when you said when Jesus went when he was 12 years old.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there. That is the
And Ram,
yeah.
I think Ram had the similar, along the Hindu timeline, you had a similar event at 12,000 years.
Yeah, that is Jesus. That is written in the New Testament. So Ram is Jesus here.
Right.
Okay? And we are concentrating here on the 100 years. This is where Jesus performing miracles or going to the because they refer to 12 buildings as a marketplace, you know.
Right.
Yeah, trading, you're performing, people buying and selling. These things were long before these cannibals come on the scene here and disrupt that whole history, you know.
Right.
Yeah, and we must understand, I present the verse here, so people should go and refute my claim that we went to teach them to stop eating people, but they came back to India to teach the people. Awful horror.
Yeah.
This is how that would not be in the Ramayana. You see? That awful horror will not be in the Ramayana, because the Ramayana done when there were no wars and these Romans and them get Romans, Greeks and Jews, all of them, Muslims were all cannibals.
Yeah.
And they came to India because India had everything. They were not fighting amongst each other. This is one corporation that I see among the Hindus that, because I don't think we could ever see that again.
Yeah.
You understand?
You have
Because-
any reference, as you mentioned that, I remember, like, let's say blood sacrifice in India.
Blood sacrifice?
Like, well, this, the Kali worshippers and these kind of
But
things.
listen, they misinterpret. This is
Right.
what we're saying. Blood just mean to record. Blood mean to record. The same Hindus did that.
Right.
Same Hindus did that. When they're teaching these people not to eat people, they teach them how to farm or animals.
Right.
You understand? To mine animals, to eat instead of eating people.
Right.
And in order to stop, to know whether they stop eating people, you bring an animal. And when you bring an animal, they kill the animal. The Hindus do that. These are the teachers, you know.
Mm.
And with the blood, he write it. That's the record.
Okay.
And if he didn't see you with the next month and think, that means you're going back to eat people again. Because you have to bring animals, you have to continue. Because that is what they say, your sin now transferred to the animal.
Okay.
Yeah, the sin he's referring to is the cannibalism, you know. That you stop eating people and you're eating the animal now.
Okay.
So all these things come into play because they have that must have that in the Ramayana, because I made statement where they're talking about blood. The blood was it is the Hindus taking the record, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and checking you whether you eating people or you stop eating people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because it's them that teach them how to They carry animals for them.
Yeah.
They didn't have them animals. This is why most or everything came from India. You understand?
I have a question here I have about when you read about Helena Constantine and you mentioned all these things, east, west, and the locations and things. So I was wondering, so when you tell people go back and read these things and you have to decipher it, how obvious is this information if you need some geographical, like the person reading now? Is it that you don't need to look at it in terms of faith, but you need some knowledge of geography and a little bit of maths and a little bit of what you need to really see this?
You use a word there, faith. Well, I observe certain things that's taken place that I see the pundits and I'm hardly using the word belief now. But I see they start to use the word faith.
Right.
Now I must let them know that they must go to the dictionary and find out the meaning of faith, definition. Now, belief, you can fill a big book with belief, the definition of belief. Faith is belief.
Okay.
Right? So, could be, probably all, that is belief. You are not sure. Anything that you are not certain about, it is belief. And from the Mahabharata, they present righteousness and unrighteousness. So, anything that is unrighteous is a belief. They refer to as desire and all kind of, they put all, numerous names are presented for that, synonyms, you know.
Right.
Right. So now, what is it you're saying about the,
Well, when you read through the stuff and you say, okay, well, the 3 buildings in the
Right,
west.
okay.
Yeah.
What I'm doing there, or what the Bible, or what the authors have done, is to how to know which building Jesus has visited.
Right.
So you have the location. You have it in the Ramayana too.
Yeah.
You will see east, west, north, and south. Don't just overlook that. You have to know where that is located. Now, east is Damascus. West is Egypt. North is Europe, or what we will call Turkey, Greece, and Rome. And south is Jerusalem, the Jerusalem we know now, Israel,
Right.
and Arabia. You see, it said that in the book.
Okay.
So once you see that, you know they're referring to 3 buildings in that area. And so now you have to pinpoint which building, because they call any building by their name, you know, they make any reference. Because 12 buildings, they put in human names for it. But you have to figure out which building they're talking about. So I did some of it there. So it needs some studies to really understand it. You understand? So you must know which building Jesus left, or which building Ram left, and which building he's going to. And you also have to know the time. When you're in the book now, they're giving you the time going down, you know.
Right.
Yeah, to 12,000 years. And then from 12,000 to 14,000 years. If you go in Aranyakanda, you'll see they have 2 days in the last day. That 2 days now is from the book. The 2 days now is that the 2 days is this area. And the 12 days, the 12 years, or the 12,000 years is there. So they're giving you that so you know now which lands, because they're telling you east, west, north, or south, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you have a pinpoint now. When you see the time, how many years they cross here, because they're traveling from building to building.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is a celebration, and they continue that for 100 years. And after that is the end of the literal history of Ram. Okay. Anything after that now, with Ram, it goes into what we call spiritual journey.
Right.
And you see, you have to understand that the book itself is traveling, like Ram traveling.
Right.
Yeah. Because you have his history. Now, if it's a dead entity, then nobody knows about Ram. So that becomes a dead or dissolved. But at the present time, Ram is right through. So we must be able, the pundits and them must come up to standard and explain the literal history of Ram. That is what the spiritual, and they don't know what the spiritual world is. They have no knowledge on that. I could tell every one of them. Because first to begin on the Vedi, you have to separate it into 6 parts.
Right.
Yeah. And you have the fig tree is the manuscript.
Right.
You see? So all these things you have to know, and the pundits must read the book and teach the people that so they will know their history. I'm not saying don't teach them the spiritual world. That is a science.
Right.
That's a science. Now, many times in the past, there were the child born and then something born without a head. And you must present that now because that is a spiritual journey. Birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. That is all. You must present that in the spiritual world. Because the book itself, the child that born without a head is the book, The Ramayana,
Yeah.
Yeah. And born dead. So how did Ram come back alive now? Now he coming back alive here now, But this is the spiritual world.
Right.
You see? This is so when he go into the fourth section of the Veda now, he come back a human. And anytime you come back a human, you cannot go to heaven. So they have to put you back to death. So that's how you get in the birth and death birth. And when you reach to that we call that the seventh part of the Veda, you now appointed God. So now you can, because no human can go to heaven. You have to be God.
Okay.
So then you become God in the seventh division there. I explained that, I made some, nobody seemed to understand that. So that probably, maybe now they might be able to start a catch up. But what I'm saying, we should not be concerned about that.
Okay.
We should be concerned about our hero, Ram. The entity is millions of people,
Right.
I made the Zacchaeus want to see Jesus, and he climb up a tree, right? What he climb up the tree to do? Now you have to understand, these batches of Hindus coming, The one that tell him to plant a shatime tree or a breadfruit tree, they have jacked all them trees in the Ramayana. This thing planted at the beginning, and he don't know what to do with it. So another batch of Hindus coming, so they said Jesus is coming. So Zacchaeus climbed up the tree. But the one who teach him to plant the tree, he's no longer here, going back to India, he died. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a new Hindu coming, so, all right, okay, come down the tree, I will go have dinner with you. This is what the story is. What it means, I'll teach you how to cook that. This is,
Okay.
so the
One last thing before, because we're reaching close on time there.
right, okay.
Sorry to cut you off, but is that a question that might take a little complex answer. So, from what I understand, you had said that the Ramayana is, the history of the Ramayana ends where there's a gap in the history between the Bible and Ramayana history. Although it's basically they make a new story.
Between Bible, no, what we're saying, literal history of Ramayana complete 12,000 years.
Right.
After that, nothing. Everything that you see they're putting in now is what we call the spiritual world now, right? That is not the literal history.
Okay.
You have to decipher the literal history from what they write now. Okay? Now, this what over here, when you come to the Bible, I have it here. When you come to the Bible, what you have here now is when you read to the Bible, it's not really zero, it's 77 years. I presented that before, but in the last, zero just to kind of bring the timeline for people to understand. Now, when they created this Bible have the history, what the Hindus wrote. Now, they wrote this exile because they were in this exile.
Right.
So they have the literal history. So this 37 to 77 years is literal history.
Right.
Presented by the same 24 authors.
Okay,
they left in 62 to come to Rome. Okay?
Because that's what the question was going, was this stuff they present in the end with Maccabees and Emperor Nero, where they went to India to spread their cannibalism, and the Hindus wrote that into the Bible.
Yeah, this is what, because that's 4th century history,
Right.
Yeah. They put it into 4th century BC. They have no knowledge how this was created. They have no knowledge about the calendar. This calendar is Hindu calendar. So what I was showing there, how from Siddhantic calendar it flows straight.
Right.
It's still existent. You can still refer to it as a Siddhantic calendar. You can now come and put a 0 here for CE calendar. That is what we are using. So I don't know why the Hindus don't refer to the Siddhantic calendar and say, you talking about that you exist only 2,000 years ago. Listen, this is 13,500 years.
Oh, okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know, like the Pandit themselves or the Hindus themselves do not know this calendar.
Yeah.
You
Because
see?
even if you look at references, if you Google something about India, they reference it according to the Christian calendar. They'll say 500 BC.
Yeah.
They wouldn't say, well, the Siddhantic
Right.
calendar date.
Now you have to understand, the Hindu authors never wrote BC because they are using Siddhantic calendar.
Right.
They just come and make the calendar here for this Vespasian. Is he that requests that, you know?
Right.
So they made it fine, but he don't know anything about that. And this is why people don't know the months and years is in the Bible, and they don't know it up till now. And talk about the Hindus, they have the whole thing in the Ramayana and they don't know it either. So what I have to say, these Hindu authors fool the whole world with their writings.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, it was a heavy topic. I find, well, it had a lot of new information then. A lot of stuff that was new, especially the part in the end where they present where they went to India, because that's a piece of history that nobody talk
I
about.
talked about that before, but nobody seemed to. You see, if you go in the history today, you will see Rome doing trading with India.
Right.
And I keep saying, the Romans have all of Africa, all of the Middle East to do trading. And the historians present this trading with India as if the Romans love these Hindus.
Right.
You see? So we have, I think, that the Romans love the Hindus and they were trading with Hindus. No. They're killing everybody in sight. And he said they were cannibals. So they love the Hindus. Only the Hindus they love. When you're reading now under the awful horror that they stick up into all the temples, what it means? Done away with your law, Hindu law. Practice pagan. You see, the Hindus that I'm reading to, they call it we pagans. What is pagan? Pagan is cannibalism. They even read Maccabees, you will see it if you read Tobit. You will see it, they're calling them pagans. But I don't know, like somebody, is only blind people reading these scriptures.
Okay.
So I have to say that again.
Yeah.
You know, whether who don't like it, I have no problem with that. Yeah, prove to me that I'm wrong. You see, because you have, and what if you go to the Maccabees there, you must go in the Bible. You don't need to buy no Bible. You just go on the online.
Yeah.
And you put it down and put Bible Hub. When you put down Bible Hub, you get about 10 or 15 Bibles, the quotation. So you could, if you know the history, you will know if everybody right or everybody wrong.
Okay.
And always you'll get one or two of them that unearth the literal part and present it. So that is how I know that the authors of Bible had no knowledge of these entities.
Yeah.
That's the same way with the Ramayana. All right. So,
All right.
well, okay. If you have no more questions, we can
Yeah, we
call
can.
that off. Anyway, thanks very much.
No problem.
Yeah, all right.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.